Thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. This is the M4 iPad Pro. After using it for the last few weeks, I'm both blown away on one level and super frustrated on another. We have an incredible piece of engineering and impossible powers from the new M4 chip and neural engine. Impossible because I strangely feel unable to use it to its potential. Hello, it's Simon, and in this video, we need to answer a few big iPad and Apple questions. What is this product actually supposed to be? Are the new iPad Pros and Airs worth the upgrade? Who is the iPad for? Will we ever get the most out of the iPad Pro? And where is Apple going with all of this? This video will show you what the new M4 iPad Pro and iPad Air are all about, and why you might want to pause on buying one until you know one key thing from Apple. Okay, so the first thing we should do is enjoy a little bit of unboxing. Apple just delivered a package. When I received this, I kind of decided not to race to the start line to get out my review video on the release date because, well, I wanted to use it a bit, see how it compares to the existing older iPad I've got, and take some time with it. And let's be honest, what's the point in competing with the Tech Chap or MKBHD, because they'll have got this out way before me anyway. We've got some interesting stuff going on in this box. Number one, the new Apple Pencil. I think that's rather beautifully designed, actually, that box. We've got a smart folio, a simple folio cover for the iPad. And this is the latest Magic Keyboard from Apple. I'm not sure if they've sent me a white one to go with a black iPad, but let's see. And finally, the iPad Pro 13-inch. This, believe it or not, is a maxed out version. It's 2 terabyte Wi-Fi and cellular M4 13-inch, thinnest thing they've ever made. Let's get it open. I hope you like these unboxing things. I personally find them quite relaxing. Oh my word. I'm not sure if you can see quite how thin that is, but that is remarkable. So I set about using the iPad over the week in the usual ways, a bit of photo and thumbnail editing, some YouTube watching. I used it as a teleprompter and a monitor. I took some notes, I did some planning, I did a bit of writing, and well, it's an iPad. It's beautiful and it works, if you know the use cases. You'll have to subscribe here if you want to watch some other videos on how to really get the most out of these things. But what is this product supposed to be in your setup? Well, first, a few things that argue the case for owning an iPad in the first place. It's super flexible as a single device. These new, super light and very well designed Magic Keyboards do make this a great tool for note-taking, casual writing, and emailing, video calls on the go. And I have to say now, it is a much lighter and thinner setup. The trackpad is beautiful to use and it feels much closer to a Mac OS setup. And when you want to remove it, the iPad is your notepad, reading device, or TV, without having to bring another computer. Oh, and get subscribed for my upcoming tech travel EDC video, which is going to be around all of this. And this new folio case could be the under-the-radar upgrade to consider. Apple have clearly moved some magnets within this so that when you slide the case up, it will change positions. Really cool, so you can look at it from different angles much more easily. It's just a shame that those same magnets mean that your old cases and accessories don't work with the new iPads. But if we look past the amazing spec, the scary thin 5.1mm body, the world's first tandem OLED, the super-powered neural engines and amazing new processing powers, to be honest, for most users, it's just not that different. Why? Well, the iPad was, in my opinion, already amazingly good. The screen seems sharper and brighter. It feels slightly lighter and thinner, much easier to carry. And the iPad Pencil Pro has cool new features. And I'm using it for the same tasks I did before. Most of us don't have the use cases to really make use of the new powers of these Pro models. And here lies the iPad predicament, my friends. How do we get all of these new powers when locked in to the current iPadOS? So is that about to change? Before we address that key question of iPadOS's future and talk about the significant list of reasons you do have to buy one of these iPad Airs or Pros, let me show you one of my favorite use cases for the iPad and the Apple Pencil, taking classes with today's sponsor, Skillshare. If you don't know by now, Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives with thousands of classes led by industry pros across film, illustration, design, freelancing, productivity, including loads of ways to explore your passions and hobbies. With the summer break coming up, I've decided to use some free time to put my new Apple Pencil to use and learn how to draw with the new pencil features. It's too good a hobby to miss, particularly using apps like Procreate. This class by Mimi Chow is great, and I've learned drawing fundamentals like understanding colour, composition, and I got to participate in the class projects. I love that she combines iPad and real paper examples in the class, and I can even go into split screen mode so that I'm able to follow along at the same time. Yeah, I'm making things happen with this Apple Pencil. And okay, yes, I do keep sharing this, but I'm very proud of the painting that I made. In fact, if you wanted to go fully iPad focused here, Skillshare have a bunch of great learning paths like this one using Procreate Basics, helping you to get from novice to pro super fast. Learning paths are hand-picked classes that are meant to be taken in order that build on one another, reinforcing lessons, all available in a range of experience levels from beginner to advanced and focusing on a range of categories, tools and software. So this year, do what I'm doing, invest in yourself and your goals and start a learning journey on Skillshare to take your career, skills or side hustle to the next level. I'll even be releasing a class there too soon on productivity. The first 500 people to use my link in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So get started today, and thanks Skillshare for sponsoring this part of the video. So are the new iPads worth the upgrade, and who are they for? If you don't own an iPad and have the funds, I think the iPad Air is absolutely worth it, if only to start your journey more AI ready for whatever Apple brings in the next years, and to be able to start with the Apple Pencil Pro, since it only seems compatible with the 2024 iPads due to the positive choice to move magnets to get the front-facing camera on the landscape edge. And hey, I have to say that the new Apple Pencil Pro is super cool. The attention to detail in the new squeeze menu, the barrel roll for artists, hell, the digital shadow it casts make this one of the best new pieces of equipment design I've seen in absolutely ages. It will truly change how you use the Apple Pencil focused apps like, say, Procreate and GoodNotes, and I love it. In fact, I got mine engraved. Nice. And yes, if you use the iPad to color grade, video edit, produce music, or do 3D design, I think the iPad Pro is a wonderful tool right now to do that, notably with that new display that is probably a colorist's dream. And I do truly think that the M4 chip is not just in the new iPad because it enables Apple to run the tandem OLED screen and keep it that thin, but it's also for future users. It will be able to handle those new AI features surely coming to Apple's platform over the next year or so. But let's not kid ourselves here. Most people are likely going to buy the iPad Pro because of that super thin look, top of the line spec, and that it's just a bit gorgeous and magical to hold. Beyond that, it's hard to justify the spend for most people who will never get near using it to its potential, which brings us right back to the predicament, will we ever get the most out of the iPad Pro? For more casual users, the base model is all that you need. Often the iPad feels locked between the MacBook and the iPhone in ways that is just a little bit confusing. And then there are a select group of power users making the most of it to use Blender or on-location color grading, creating amazing animation and using the drawing tools. But for the majority of us, iPad sits in a place that doesn't quite mean we can get rid of our MacBook. Stage Manager and peripherals make iPad super close to using macOS, but iPadOS is a touch-based system that has designs on desktop power and functionality. And because of this, we miss out on the advantages of cursors, right clicks and extra options. Buttons are designed for fingers, not mice. This means we have all the power we need to run pro apps, but the interface won't fully allow us to go as far as we might want to fully migrate to an iPad. All this is why a lot of us are hoping that the announcements at WWDC 2024 could include some new AI features that truly give us utilization for that neural engine and its insane processing power, and maybe we could even see some form of pro mode that takes the iPad OS closer to Mac OS and unlocks more use cases. This might in turn offer options to developers to make new app functionality available on the iPad. It's cool to see apps like DaVinci Resolve now coming to the iPad platform. And well, this leads us to my final question. Where is Apple going with all this? I think this device speaks more about the nature of how our world is changing than it claims to be a big new innovation in its own right. We are in the early stages of a work and life revolution that will change how we all interact, work, learn, and get things done forever. AI and the commodification and productization of knowledge and intelligence is here. To be honest, it's going to make a lot of us a bit stressed out in the coming years. But if things do go in the right direction, AI will help us interact with our technology in new ways and remove the friction of some of that manual admin. And at that point, well, maybe we won't be asking why the iPad isn't more like a MacBook, and we will simply be using the iPad as a window into that world of knowledge and AI help. Okay, I got a bit too poetic, but look at these examples. Navigating apps with your eyes, clicking a button to ask AI to edit out a background, and asking your LLM assistant to book your next trip. Total rubbish or an exciting future? Let me know what you make of all of this in the comments. But remember, whatever iPad you might be using, it's the apps and accessories that truly make it powerful. So I recommend watching this video next for my top apps and user tips, or this one down here for my top accessories you should try and why. Click my face to subscribe if you haven't yet, and well, I'd better get back to creating. See ya.